Hello everyone, welcome to the KZGN News. Today we'll bring you news of Wednesday's City Council meeting, news of a plane crash in the Mediterranean Sea, news from Caltrans repairing Route 395, local club news, today's KZGN Talking Points editorial, weather, sports, and much more.
From the Rademacher Hills to Bee Mountain and the mighty Sierras, Ridgecrest to Inyokern and China Lake, this is your news for the Indian Wells Valley with the KZGN News crew.
Hello, I'm Tom Whitnick. Thanks for joining us for news affecting Ridgecrest and the Indian Wells Valley. Newsflash! Ridgecrest City Council approves agreement with the Indian Casino. Well, in Wednesday's City Council meeting, the Council once again held a marathon meeting. I'll cover the rest of the meeting a bit later, but first, the details of the vote approving the Indian Casino. Even though it was the last item handled on the agenda, and standing room crowd stayed until the end of the discussion on the Indian Casino. Again, the room was full with people spilled over into the chamber hallways. The council first called for anyone that has not spoken before. This was to allow new inputs into the comments. Well, over 40 people made comments. Then the council allowed those that have spoken before 1 more minute to add any new comments or questions. Very few things were asked or said during this comment period, except there was now frustration being voiced by the supporters to have the council vote and be done with it. They felt after a month and 5 public meetings on the issue, the time had come to decide. The opponents were again pushing for a vote of the people instead of the council. Since opponents and supporters were both holding up signs to express their support for whatever was being said, I have to say that this time the spread was at least 2/3 or more in support of the casino and about 1/3 against the casino. Anyway, after 3 hours of more public comment, the council then started their own discussion of the item. All the council members were able to ask and get questions answered. After that, they started to discuss what they were actually going to do. Sanders started by saying he wasn't ready to vote and had more questions. When the mayor told him to ask them, he said he just didn't feel the council should make the decision and let the people vote on the issue, which the opponents liked. Next, Lori Acton said that she felt the item has been thoroughly discussed and she felt it was time for them to vote. Next, Mike Maurer agreed with Acton and said it's time for them to vote. Next, Eddie Thomas started his comments. He started expressing that he too felt the discussion was over and they should decide. At that point, the opponents, seeing the 3 votes to make the decision versus letting the people vote on the issue, it set them out into outbursts of complaining against the council. Thomas asked him to let him speak. Anyway, next Mayor Breeden offered her comments. She agreed with the other 3 people and said, let's vote. So there was some more discussion on some certain wording of the agreement. And Sanders kept saying he was uncomfortable voting on an agreement they didn't have a final version of. In actuality, they all have had the agreement for their analysis for a couple months now, and that there were just a couple minor changes that had to be made yet. In the end, the council approved the service agreement with a vote of 4-1 with Sanders voting no. However, the attorney was told to make all the necessary changes to the agreement and then bring it back to the council at the next meeting for a review that all the changes were properly incorporated. So that was it. Tomorrow, I'll have more specifics on the pros that the council based their support on. It is a lengthy list. And if you stay with us after the news, we'll have Ridgecrest Talk with KZGN-TV host Tanya Pyle interviewing the Shoshone Indian Tribe chairman and the developer. So stay with us after the news. In national news, today we get reports of a plane crash in the Mediterranean Sea, and there are indications that it might be the results of a terror attack. However, nothing conclusive has been reported yet. What happened was there was an Egyptian air flight flying from Paris to Cairo. Early today it vanished from radar with 66 people on board. The Airbus A320 crashed into the Mediterranean Sea, but the cause is unclear. 1 child and 2 infants were among the 30 Egyptians, 15 French, and 10 other nationalities on board. Search teams have already found the wreckage from the crashed Egyptian flight, and officials are trying to determine if the plane was taken down by terrorists. The plane crashed into the Mediterranean Sea while en route from Paris to Cairo. Debris was found near the Greek island of Carpathos, east of Crete, according to the Egyptian Ministry of Foreign Affairs. International search teams are now looking for more wreckage. They are looking for evidence that would indicate what sent the aircraft into the sea. We have found the wreckage, Egyptian official Ahmad Abel told CNN. The Egyptian flight left Paris at 11:09 p.m. and was scheduled to land at 3:05 a.m. Cairo time. It was cruising at 37,000 feet when it vanished from radar around 2:45 a.m. Cairo time. Intelligence suggests that there was an explosion on the Egyptian Air flight. Two unnamed U.S. officials told NBC News. There is no confirmation yet over the exact cause of the crash or source of the alleged explosion. Currently, the French, Greeks, Egyptians, and U.S. forces are on a search and rescue mission at this time. The plane is in a spot where the Mediterranean is 9,000 feet deep, so finding the wreckage and getting the black boxes won't be easy. But those will be critical in determining what happened. I'm sure we'll hear more about this later. Now here's what the Council did on the rest of their Wednesday agenda. First, they made a proclamation recognizing Emergency Medical Services Week, May 15th through 21st. Next, they made a proclamation recognizing Vietnam Veterans Recognition Day. It will be held this Friday, 9:30, at the USO building. All Vietnam vets are encouraged to attend this event. Then they made a proclamation recognizing National Public Works Week, May 15th through 21st. Next on the agenda was the consent calendar. They took up these issues. First, they accepted for filing the city's treasurer's investment report for the quarter ending March 31st. Next, they authorized an agreement with Caltrans that encumbers $223,000 and authorized tax allocation bonds in the amount of $564,000 to be used for matching funds for construction of the Drummond Winding Project from Inyo Street to Downs. Next, they approved the purchase of a Ford 10-prisoner transport van. Then they held public hearings. First, they conducted a public hearing and approved a summary vacation of a drainage, access, and utility easement across two parcels of city-owned property in the city business park. Next on the agenda, they handled discussion and other action items. Here the council heard my complaints from last meeting concerning the closure of the jail in Ridgecrest. Councilman Mike Maurer proposed action approving a letter of opposition to the Kern County Sheriff regarding the pending closure of the local jail. All 5 council members agreed with the letter and committed to sign it, so the council is finally on record as opposing the closure of the jail. I don't know if it'll help, but it's worth a try. Then they got a budget update for 2015-2016. There were questions on this, so it will be brought back again for more discussion. And finally, they approved a budget committee for development of the draft budget for fiscal year 2016 to 2017. Now stay with us. We'll have some news from Caltrans after the break. Thanks for staying with us. In state news from Caltrans, we get this story of road repairs on Route 395. The California Department of Transportation started the Johannesburg resurfacing project last Tuesday. The location of the work is on U.S. Highway 395 in Kern County. The work goes from the Kern County-San Bernardino County line to the junction of State Route 178. This project will resurface the roadbed with a rubberized hot mix asphalt. Drivers should anticipate daily lane closures along this stretch of Kern County, U.S. Highway 395, Monday through Thursday from 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. Delays could be up to 20 minutes. This project is scheduled to be completed by September. This is a $5 million project. For the latest in highway information, please visit Caltrans' Quick Map site at quickmap.ca.gov or go to their road condition hotline at 1-800-427-ROAD. Caltrans wants to remind everyone of the new law that is intended to protect road workers. For the safety of the workers and other motorists, please be work zone alert and move over where possible. Again, this repair is on Route 395 south to Johannesburg and it started Tuesday. In local club news, the China Lake Museum Foundation is getting ready for their annual dinner fundraiser. The event will be held Saturday, June 4th. It'll be at the Kerr McGee Center starting at 4:30 p.m. This dinner and fundraiser helps raise funds for the operations of the museum on China Lake and to add funds to the construction account to build a new museum in the city. The proposed location of the new museum is by the Matarango Museum. Moving the museum off the base is real important to make it more accessible to the general public. So if you want to help, plan on attending the dinner fundraiser. Again, it will be held Saturday, June 4th. It'll be at the Kerr McGee Center starting at 4:30 p.m. For more information, they can be contacted at 760-939-3530. They also have a Facebook site at China Lake Museum Foundation. In other club news, the Democrat Club of the High Desert will hold their monthly lunch meeting on Saturday, May 21st. It'll be at noon at Charlie's Restaurant, located in the Clarion Inn on North China Lake Boulevard. They are pleased to announce that their guest speakers shall be Steve Morgan and Roy Parrish. Mr. Morgan currently serves on both the Airport Board and the Measure L Committee and will speak about both items. Mr. Parrish is an advocate for Measure F. This is a measure we'll be voting on June 7th. The measure is on behalf of libraries and will offer reasons to support this ballot measure. Everyone is welcome to attend. There is no admission fee. Buying your own lunch or a drink is optional. For more information, you can contact Matthew Alexander, the press officer, at 760-382-3878. Now it's time for the 145th KZGN News Talking Points editorial. Here's today's topic. Casino opponents call for other new businesses to come in. I wonder what they are doing to help. During the discussion of the proposed Indian casino, among the many opponents' comments against the casino, one that was mentioned more than once was for the council to get other businesses to come here instead of the casino. Well, while that idea has merit, I have to ask, how are they helping to make that happen? As one that has been on the council, I know what attempts are being made to recruit new business to Ridgecrest. Gary Parsons, the City Economic Development Director, works this full-time. While he tries to look for base complementary business to come here, these efforts are extremely tough. So when he gets any new business approaching the city to possibly locate here, he does a general evaluation of the project, and if it fits into the city, he brings it forward. However, he does not have the power to stop any business that wants to come here. And he has the responsibility to notify the council when any new business expresses interest in Ridgecrest. That is what he did with the Indian casino. And now we have a decision on the casino. But what about these people that keep calling for other businesses to come here? I asked them, have you stepped up and met with Gary Parsons and offered your help? Have you offered specific businesses that you may know that have interest in coming here? Do you think the city has been trying to do that for 30 years? I know in my time on the council, that was the council's position. Truth is, new companies are not beating on our door to locate here, and there are various reasons. But one reason is they survey the town for things that would create a positive environment for them to locate here. One of those things they consider is entertainment for their employees. I mean, it's not the only thing they consider, but it is one thing. Just as the base is concerned about new recruitment and retention after they get their new employees here. Part of the equation is what there is for these mostly younger new employees to do here. And what about retired seniors that like to gamble and see a show? The casino helps answer that question. Our movie theaters and local clubs help answer that question too, as well as our local churches and schools help answer that question. And don't forget, having a quality hospital and medical services available is important. All these things work together to make the city a better place, an attractive place to move to. And these opponents that keep saying we need other businesses here, I say to you, stop yakking and step up and help. If you care about this town the way you say you do, then get involved. It's so easy to say, get other businesses. But then almost everyone walks away and does nothing to help. You leave it up to someone else to do. And for those that believe it's best to shop out of town instead of here, which are some of those people that say bring other business here, your dollars spent out of town are noted by potential new businesses. That is a consideration they evaluate in their decision to come here. If there is a common belief to shop out of town, why would they want to move their business here? And most of the time, new business needs certain population levels before they even consider coming here. Well, to reach those requirements, we need to increase our population. Every new business that adds new jobs does that. They add new employees that will live here, buy things here, and join us in this fine town we have. They'll buy homes or rent homes. The real estate market is a major driver of new jobs, but it takes new people willing to invest in the city to make it happen. While many of these bring other business people sit in their homes paid off and only buy locally when they have to, and then hold the rest of their money for when they travel out of town, that hurts this town a lot. We all need to work to create a positive, healthy community. In conclusion, I say to those that cry out for bringing in other business here, step up and offer your help. Contact Gary Parsons and find out what he's doing to try and make that happen. It's so easy to throw ideas out. How about helping? I'm Tom Whitnick, and that's what I think. I'd like to know what you think. If you have any comments about this editorial or would like to discuss a recommended topic, I'd like to hear from you. Please email them to info@kzgn.net. Thanks for staying with us. Now here's Lane with the weather.
Thank you, Tom. From the National Weather Service, severe thunderstorms with large hail and damaging winds are possible in South Texas. Heavy rainfall with localized flash flooding may impact the Texas Gulf Coast to Louisiana coast. The wet weather system could bring heavy rains to the southeast, Tennessee Valley, and mid-Atlantic over the weekend. Temperatures across the nation. Carolinas at 67, Georgia at 80, Arkansas at 71, Northern Texas at 56, Arizona at 84, and Los Angeles at 64. And for us locally, tonight, mostly clear with a low around 60, west wind 20 to 30 miles per hour with gusts as high as 40. Friday, sunny with a high near 77, west-southwest wind 20 to 25 miles per hour with gusts as high as 40. Friday night, mostly clear with a low around 53, southwest wind 15 to 20 miles per hour with gusts as high as 35. Saturday, sunny with a high near 77, west-southwest wind 10 to 15 miles per hour with gusts as high as 25. Saturday night, mostly clear with a low around 54, west wind 15 miles per hour with gusts as high as 25. Sunday, sunny with a high near 81, south-southwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour with gusts as high as 15. Sunday night, mostly clear with a low around 56, west-southwest wind 10 miles per hour with gusts as high as 15. And Monday, sunny with a high near 82, southwest wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. And that is your forecast for the IWV. Now back to Tom.
So that's some news for today. Also, KZGN-TV know you have a choice in what you watch for your news. We all thank you for choosing KZGN-TV, Ridgecrest's only locally owned community TV station. Now stay tuned for Ridgecrest Talk, coming up next.